Should we start the second half?
Hey,
Let's do it.
We just had halftime.
It's.
It was
I mean,
really
it's already
exciting.
done. That's
we,
how we
st-
started.
we started it.
Yeah,
It's done.
So Wadi,
It's a
what
quick
about this
start.
idea? I really like it. We're gonna.
You like to call it Wadi. I like Wadi too. It's like Wally.
Only that's different.
Only that it's not.
But
no,
it's like
I
it.
like Wadi though, and I really like that it's a question. You know, what about this idea?
Right.
Oh, I see what you're saying. I thought it was Wati.
Ooh, oh, Wati. Ooh, it's just like you have to hold your pinky up for that way.
Super fancy.
Oh, Wati.
Oh, yeah, that.
That's what I thought. It was like Target.
think that's-
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's French.
Bougie.
Yeah, it is bougie. We're bougie. Then, I mean,
Clearly.
Well, entrepreneur,
we found out it's a French word.
it's a French word.
I mean, we kind of knew that, but
we.
yeah.
Mais oui,
We had a
entrepreneur.
professor.
We had a professor in here, and we asked him after we refused to look it up, and
And he affirmed.
he affirmed our guess.
Mike Nolan?
Yes,
Was that? Did I get it?
I think you did.
Oh my
If
God, I'm
it's not-
so bad with names, and I think I nailed it.
Right. What is her name?
Heather Boschke.
Okay.
Woo! You had me for a second though. I froze up. Just
Who is this?
yeah. What are you doing here? Why are you?
Why
no.
are you here?
Why are you here? But so I have
Why
this.
are any of us here, really?
Oh man,
What is
existential
the meaning
stuff.
of life? Why are we here?
I think about that stuff all the time though.
I do too.
Same.
I don't think they're. If I'm being perfectly honest,
And why
Perfectly
why would
honest?
you not be honest with us, right?
well, let's say
He would be assimilating.
if I'm being
Take that
more,
costume off, Sam.
Yeah.
No, you'd have to know me longer than, well, you've been avoiding me for 6 months again.
Successfully.
Yeah, successfully. No, I don't have much of an ability to obfuscate the truth. Like I'm pretty direct and open about most everything. But there are things where, like when you say, if I'm being perfectly honest, what goes on in my head in that moment is, shit, should I say this? Like, should I actually say this, or should I just leave it in there? You know, because I'm not sure. But anyway, no, life.
Wow.
Life.
What it would be like to have that stopgap.
You don't have it, do you? No,
I
you
don't-
do too.
I do. Well, obviously
little
I
bit.
do, but
Not a lot.
it's not as the gap is not as doesn't quite fill the hole as much as yours.
Sometimes the gap happens while I'm speaking. Like, ooh,
wait. I
Okay,
didn't
so why
mean to say that.
Why are we here?
Oh, I just don't think there is any purpose whatsoever. Like there is absolutely no purpose, and that's the beauty of it. Really, is that there
Interesting.
is the only thing that matters out of anything that happens or that we do, and we worry about all the minutia of life, and it gets us down and everything. But love and caring for people, and that's about it. Your experiences and all of the meaning of anything is wrapped up in how much you actually care about the people around you and stuff like that. That's what I think.
I think the caring about people is lovely, but the whole there's no purpose other than I have to disagree with you.
Oh yeah, no, I'm not stating it as if it's a fact. It's an
Yes.
opinion of mine.
But you
yes.
don't think there's no purpose other than you have this experience, you love on your people. That's what you believe.
Yeah, I mean, I would go as far as to say, like, you know, we're rightly concerned about all the killing of people that's happening in the world and war stuff, and we're rightly concerned about the global warming and all of that. None of that actually has any bearing on anything, really. It's not good, but it's all going to get folded. Every bit of this is going to get folded back into the earth someday. So like if we're building an empire, it doesn't actually matter. There's no time will see all of this folded back into the earth and go away, right?
Yeah.
So what could possibly be the meaning of any of it really, other than the experience and the love that you have for people? That's
I
sort of my point.
agree on the experience and the learning, but I also think that we're all here to evolve our soul so that in the next lifetime we've learned, and now we're just evolving our soul until the moment we decide that we don't want to come back to Earth school.
Yeah, and that's not incongruent with what I'm saying, because I agree.
You couldn't just say I agree with you.
No, I do agree.
wonder if
no, I do
that's
agree.
true. Like, let's say if that's
I do
true.
actually agree with that.
I think
and I
you
think
guys-
they're combined. Like, if that's the actual outcome, which I can't say for certain that's it, right? But I sort of believe it is too.
Yeah.
if that's the actual outcome, then it's just the things you do that's
Yeah.
why
It's
I
back
love.
to the love thing.
It's
right?
back. It comes
Yeah.
I think what you are maybe resisting is that we have this, everyone has this clear purpose that we're all trying to find in our life, that maybe that's not true.
Yeah,
Right?
I don't really see that.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
probably what you're
derive
saying.
meaning from, the accumulation of wealth or
Right.
the accumulation of
Yeah.
power
Yeah.
or these things. I
Right.
think the accumulation of love. Yeah, sure.
Exactly.
That
right.
that works.
And how we like if we were to take that as a given, right? Like we are here to advance ourselves spiritually.
Yep.
Right?
Yeah.
Learn our lessons.
If we take that as, then what is that doing overall? Like, is there an overall cause that if
Or
we
purpose,
love
or-
more
yeah.
and we're more present and we're more kind and empathetic and the world starts to go that way, where does that move us in the universe? Does it
Wouldn't that be
have,
nice?
does it have an impact? I feel like it does. I feel like
I feel like it has to.
I feel like it has to.
Yeah.
I feel like, we've always talked about, oh my God, I can't believe we're going here. But we've always talked about changing the world, like like sometimes it was say, what do you hope for in the world? And people will say world peace,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, right.
And world peace maybe isn't even possible.
Yeah.
But what is possible is individual peace and individual presence. And really, that all you have in this world is your perspective going out.
Yeah.
That's all we ever have, right? So if I'm at peace inside, the whole world is at peace,
Yeah.
right?
And there's a whole
World,
shitload of Buddhists going, oh God, these Westerners think they
These
figured this out.
Westerners.
Like they're
Takes a while.
How long is it going to take them to figure this out?
like, oh, they think they just had an epiphany and like now everybody's
okay,
got it. Like we've
welcome
been
to-
teaching
yeah.
people this forever.
But that's
Exactly.
because we're so focused on doing and producing, and I think about like even this conversation, what our like great grandparents would think, and they'd be like, "You have the effing luxury to talk about spirituality. We're like trying to put food on the table."
Right.
So there's something about the privilege of every generation is making it better so that there is more space to have these conversations and to think this way, because they were literally keep the babies alive and feed the people.
And there are people in this world still
That's
doing
it.
that, right? And so it's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
it is. I don't even know. My father-in-law gave me a video, literally on a VHS
Oh,
tape,
yeah.
right? It's about time, and he's a scientist, right? So I would not describe him as a religious person. I would describe him as a scientist, right? But physics and
They're not-
spirituality really kind of get tied up with
mutually
each other.
exclusive,
Yeah.
yeah.
And it was
Have you seen Interstellar?
The
yes.
movie- yeah.
One of the best movies ever.
very good.
Right? But that's the same.
Very thing. And so that there is no such thing as time. There's no such thing as time.
Oh goodness.
And so it's like, oh shit, that like rocks my freaking world. Like, what do you mean? It's time to go. It's like, it's time, and what does that really mean? There's just the whole string theory thing. And I
Dark
talked about that,
matter,
but dark
dark
matter. And it's
energy,
like,
and all these
it's like,
things, yeah.
suddenly I feel so small. It's like, sometimes you find your way to find peace, and mine is usually to look up at the sky and see how vast everything is, right? And it gives me peace to do that. Like, when you do little meditations and it says, find your happy place.
Mine's paddling down a river.
I
somewhere.
knew that you would say that.
on the water.
You know it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I love that visual too. Mine's always either in a river, in a cool river on a hot day, or sitting and looking at the stars. And it just,
Stars are
it
the best.
reminds me that all this shit I'm worrying about, all this shit I am worrying about.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, what am I going to, I need to buy a new
Oh,
car, or
yes.
I
And
need
you
to,
mentioned the accumulation of wealth. I mean, even think
Exactly.
about the social media. Who
Oh, what a mess.
Who cares about any? Like, I wonder if in 10 years, are we all going to be like, we're spending all of our time doing what on what? Like, what are we doing with our lives, people? It is
Exactly.
actually,
I'm trying very hard to make sure that when we put out our stuff, that there's some intent, there's some
Yeah.
purpose behind it,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because
Yeah.
otherwise, and I fall into the trap too. I know you love a little TikTok, right? I fall into
I
the
like me a little TikTok.
I mean, it helped
yeah.
her get ready today, so yeah.
yeah,
It did. It
and I'll
did.
fall into the trap of watching stuff, and after 10, 15 minutes, I'm like, what in God's name am I doing? Like, there's nothing I haven't absorbed any of this. It's all stupid and random, and there's no point to any of
It is an absolute addiction.
Yeah.
it's so
And
weird.
I have to like be very, and I'm hard. I'm not good at self-discipline. That's why I don't follow rules well.
Yeah, it's a whole thing about it. You know, we all get the same 24 hours in a day, and when you waste an hour of it, and even think about, I mean, I know like professionals need to be on LinkedIn, but LinkedIn is still a social media platform like every other social media platform whose entire existence is to keep you on the platform longer.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
so we
you're
get in these,
speaking my
like-
language here,
Yeah.
lady.
I love
mean,
this.
I tell people that Facebook and LinkedIn are the exact same technology, basically. They're just put to a different purpose. You know?
They are.
But and I find some utility in LinkedIn that I don't generally
Absolutely.
find in Facebook. But
And they all have their, and for my bird business, Facebook and Instagram is sort of where,
you have to be there.
so there's uses of it intentionally, but how do you turn it on? When do you turn it off? How do you know when it's being used for good? And I don't think we know. I really
Yeah.
don't think we know what that line is.
Well, that's a really good. I mean, that's a good. To bring this into like an entrepreneurial existence, it's
good.
like I see what I see on social media for people building their business. Like I see it. Like there are the professionals who show up to every event, take a selfie and leave, right? There are, and so it's like their LinkedIn is filled and like, how does this person in all these places at all the same time, right? And it's like always like doing a shout out, right? Or whatever it is. And I'm like, there's some intention of that I believe in because I believe in giving back. It's like I want to highlight Heather as much as possible, right? Or I want to highlight Sam as much as because they're great people, and I want everyone else to see that they're great people. But it feels so self-serving, and it's
does.
like how do I get that sort of out of my mind and coming back to who you've become, right? Who you say you feel like you've become. How do I this podcast has actually really helped me, right?
Doing the show?
Yeah, in the sense that I don't plan for it. I allow it to come out. You're kind enough to let me talk, right? And I'm
Kind enough.
and I'm
You're talking
curious.
whether I like it or not, lady.
Yeah, right. Well, there's that. Yeah. But it's like, how do I get my voice, you know, that in the sense it's like, all the social media is just like the best of everybody. And then obviously you're watching a social media person and they're like, oh my God, they're just killing it. Look how happy they are. They love their family.
right.
Then all of a sudden they commit suicide. It's like, what was going on with that person? They seem so happy. And you always want people to notice the best things about you. And people say it's refreshing. I remember over COVID when people stopped wearing makeup, like they took selfies with makeup. And I was like, this is so amazing. But it didn't last. You know, it's like
Back out in the world.
back out in the world. But how do you be authentic, right? How do I
You
be
just
authentic
do.
and still look good, still be attractive to buy my business from?
I think you hit on it. Your insides have to match your outsides.
Yeah.
And I think you don't have to overshare either. That's the thing. Your life isn't for everyone. And just because you're on social media doesn't mean you have to share everything. And just because you don't share that you're going through a divorce on social media doesn't mean you're inauthentic. It means you have boundaries, which I think everyone could probably use a little bit more of. So to that end, your insides match your outsides. And so when your outsides or your insides are feeling, I don't want to be here, don't go to the event.
Yeah.
Like, post when you have something to say. Post when you want to share something. And I think if you think of when you're posting, and you don't even have to post to show up on social media. You could engage in comments. You can engage in, there's lots of ways to show up without posting.
Yeah.
But if you think about it as sharing ideas, sharing growth, sharing innovation, then the lens is not you.
Yeah.
And I think the hard thing is a selfie, what does a selfie do? It's all about you. And I think it's different if it's you with other people, but when it's just someone's face, it's hard to not take that as, well, this person, it's kind of all about them. So I think if we could all like turn the camera around a bit more, physically and literally, I think that would help. So
I love that.
Yeah, I mean, that's influencer stuff. No, it's, But
I love that.
But I mean, I'm gonna put a little plug in here for the podcasting itself, right? And for Devine Fox Productions and doing this. Not a single person who has started a show has regretted starting that show, and they all grow from it in some way. Everybody gets something out of it, and I think it's because of that, putting your authentic voice out into the world, you know. But I also think, like, we can't all be social media influencers. And you don't have to be a social media influencer to put out content that you're proud of that brings people back to your business or your idea, or even to you if you're needing to self-promote for some reason. Like, all of that's okay. But if you, to your point, if you're just taking pictures of yourself and putting them out there, these selfies, like, now you're trying to be an influencer of just you. You know, like, it's just, my brand is just me. And that's where, like,
I think that's what turns some people off, is when they see that, because it doesn't feel real. It seems performative. And I think that's what people are sort of lashing against, you know.
I think so,
Are they
too.
though? Because look at all these, like, are they though?
Or are those people rising? Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like
I
they're.
kind of wonder if it's not the same thing we talked about, where we loved what we loved in middle school. We got to high school. We all started to put on costumes. Like, I kind of wonder if everyone was like, you want me to stop doing this stupid shit? I think everyone would say,
Yeah.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Because it's the kids too. I worry about this with, like, my daughter at 8 years old. She's seen this stuff out there in the world. Like, you can't, you know, she's not on TikTok or anything, but, like, you can't avoid it. It's always there.
I actually think the younger folks are going to be way back. I think it's our generation that doesn't know how to handle it, to be honest.
Right.
I think the kids are seeing it going, good God, no thank you. I know more, like, teenagers that are just said, I'm done with Instagram. Like, I've found myself spending like, I actually think they're more disciplined.
Good.
Yeah.
And I think for us, it just sort of happened, like, college, post-college, all of a sudden people are on all these things and so we just started doing it. And so I actually...
You like that she put
Also-
us in her generation?
I know, I love that.
Aren't you guys Gen X? Aren't we all Gen X?
Yeah,
You're Gen
you're Gen
X?
X.
I'm Gen X.
Are you really?
Yeah, I'm on
I
the...
know, she looks like a little baby.
You look like an alpha. I said you look like an alpha.
I am a
I don't even know what that means. Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I would not have guessed.
Yeah.
No. Okay, yeah, well, then you're in.
I'm in.
You're in.
I think
we actually
also
don't know how to handle it.
we never had that when we were kids. I mean, all the things that they're now flipping and doing, like going to national parks or going canoeing or go to the camps, or, you know, all that stuff is breaking the habit of being like in your phone all the time. And for us, it's like we did all that stuff. Like my mom was definitely the mom who was like, get the hell out of
We
this
had
house
rocks and sticks
and do
and
not
stuff.
come back till dinner. And I'm like, well, what about lunch? And then she's like, I put up bologna sandwiches for you. You know what I mean? It was like
Yeah.
you had to create
Oh, the old days.
something with this time.
Yeah.
And now we like, it's like a treat
Yeah.
to have all this coming at us where we can choose.
Are you talking
and-
about yourself?
Yeah, but I think that's part of why we are Gen Xers are so
Addicted to
caught
it.
up in
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I was curious. if
It's
that
like
was where
it's
you
an
were.
adrenaline thing, and the kids have grown up with it, and now they're craving the opposite. And
Yes,
we've had this
that's
whole
exactly
knot,
right.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so we have to remember our roots.
Yeah.
We'll get
We
there.
have
I mean,
to. We have to
Facebook-
start canoeing more.
I agree.
We do.
I love that.
I mean, anyone, you know, I'm game.
I'm not going to the Arctic, but I am happy to
I
go
am.
on a canoe ride.
I do, and I think that there's going to be kind of a switch back to maybe in 5 years there'll be more landlines again, and people will be like, "You want to get a hold of me? Call my house." I mean, I don't know. I think the pendulum. We are on one side, and
Sure.
I have to
like
believe
Mad
it's gonna-
Max.
Yeah, I think it's going to swing again.
That's a
I mean,
different
we could.
swinging of
That
a
was an
different,
Xer thing to say.
different swing.
But for entrepreneurs, it is tough because
entrepreneurs.
you do want to be on social media. You do want your brand out there, and it is important to do that. But I think there is also that line of what are you talking about and why.
Yeah.
I mean, and if you're promoting your business, do it in a way that's not salesy. Do it in a way that's, again, if you're serving and sharing, you actually can't mess it up because it's not about you. I think we're just used to.
I need some counseling.
Okay,
I need some marketing counseling.
Tell me
That's
more.
something. No, I will. We'll do it off.
This is why
Oh,
we're here.
you're saying
This
in
is why
general.
we're here. It's an
Just
intervention.
in general. I mean, we're doing such a good job, and I love the authenticity of our shows and the things that are being made. It's the marketing
Yeah.
counseling that we need.
Okay.
I think a little bit. You know, I say we, but anyway.
You mean we? It's all good.
It's us.
I
Okay.
own it.
Okay.
The royalty.
Yeah. So, but also now, okay. So now this is a show about entrepreneurship, and we probably, you know, entrepreneurs are like, what in the hell am I supposed to learn out of this, right? Like, why are we talking about the universe? But if nothing matters, why am I so drawn to build things then? Like if I truly believe that the universe has other than perhaps we're learning on this, ride and stuff. I kind of agree with all of that.
Yeah.
Though it's intangible for me. I don't know what it all means, but I do believe in the universe. And
Yeah.
I'm half woo. What did I say?
Half woo, I like that.
Half woo woo?
Half woo woo.
I'm woo.
You're woo. You're just woo.
You guys, she's a little more woo
I'm
woo.
woo.
I'm more
for
woo-woo.
sure.
You're
Yeah.
both woo woo.
Yeah.
I'm woo.
You're woo.
And that's okay. But yet I'm still constantly compelled to sort of build something, not for posterity's sake, but just because.
Yeah.
Like why?
That is the meaning of being human,
Yeah.
is we get to be creative.
Yeah.
That's
we get
the
to
fun
build,
part, right?
and it doesn't really almost matter what we're building.
No.
It matters how you build it, and
Yeah, I like
how you
that
feel
take.
about building it. It is the thing that brings out the love.
It's like being
and
in the
presence.
sandbox or
Yes.
something. Like, I'm going to make a sandcastle.
Well,
Why?
and you're present when you do that, right?
Yeah.
You're present when you're building something. You're present when you're creative.
Yeah.
You're putting things together and building them, right?
Yeah, it
we get
drives
to
other
be
people crazy,
creative.
though, like my wife, because she's like, so does that mean that you're gonna build things?
You're just
forever?
playing
You're
for
gonna
the
get a
whole
job?
life?
You're gonna get a paycheck one of these days, or what? Which I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Well, and there's also that, like, you were here and what you did matters. I think that's part of it too. And that does kind of get wrapped up in purpose. When you build something, it's no different than like the caveman, like they were here.
Sure.
And that's what you're doing. You were here. And
Yeah.
what you do, it matters.
Yeah, I mean, I've talked about it a million times, but like, I know that the things that I've done that mattered, like when I worked with kids, giving them a space to be able to talk to an adult and kind of work through some things, that's more meaningful or matters more than anything I've ever done. That's it. So, whatever.
Yeah, and you
Yeah.
did that long enough for them to come back and say, thank you for you doing that.
Yeah.
You made a
and
difference.
Still, you
were-
you taught too.
I did. And sometimes people came back.
Well, but that's giving, it's a lot of, if you're teaching, you're giving. And if you're writing,
Yeah.
making
Teaching,
art,
for
you're
sure.
giving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
Okay.
again, then it's not about you. I think that's what
That's
we're coming
right.
back to, is that in service, when you were with those kids, you were in service.
Yeah.
And even when you're building something, you're probably, unless you're building a big
No, I'm in
portrait of
service.
yourself, right? You're in
Even Devine Fox Productions is in service, and you were saying it earlier, and it's like the reason why we built Devine Fox Productions, and this is not an advertisement, but it's the truth of why we built it. It's like we built all the stuff to do this podcast, and then both of us felt so liberated about what we created that we're like, we want more people to be able to share their voice. And so all of our podcasts that have started are people who never have shared their voice in the same way before. And so it's like bringing voice into where there wasn't voice before. It's like
That's such a
taking
gift.
people who don't want to speak about something and giving them the microphone, and we'll take care of everything else, sort of
But
thing.
there's something about podcasting too, where people are like, "Ugh, another podcast,"
Yeah.
or
well, then it can't be about being
or
popular.
you must be so full of yourself if you've got shows that you do, and it's like, well, not really, actually. Like, I think a lot of the people
Kind of
are
like
doing-
that video where I said I couldn't be hypnotized, and
And then I said the wrong
you
thing.
said,
Oh,
This has gone on
Amazing.
it's gone on forever. She's feels somewhat slighted by a comment that I made that
I don't necessarily feel slighted, but when you do shorts out of the videos, so we have our YouTube up, and it
Super
pulls
popular.
shorts. So shorts are obviously the most popular because people can just get a little snippet on the video. But one of our most popular snippets is he and I were doing.
I love that it's going to get aired out now.
End of the season, we had a couch conversation, just Sam and I. And we were talking about a whole bunch of stuff. We were talking about ego, and we were talking about being hypnotized. And when I was saying, I was like, I don't know what it is, but I've tried several times to be hypnotized because I wanted to get something done, I wanted to get a dissertation done, and I wanted to get a couple other things done. And it's like, for the life of me, I could not be hypnotized. Like, I wanted to so bad. And I'm sure that there's something there because the want was so bad that's so subconscious.
Yeah.
But I couldn't be hypnotized. So I said to him, I've tried and tried and tried to be hypnotized, but I can't. And maybe my ego is too big. And he goes, what did you say?
I said, you have a pretty strong ego. which is a different. And I didn't say big actually, and that's why, because in my mind
It's our most watched video.
in my mind she couldn't be the person I wouldn't be business partners with her, and she couldn't be the person she is if she didn't have a strong ego. I think you have to have a strong ego, and I think it's an important part. But then there's this connotation of the bad part of ego, where, and we've looked it up. I've tried to explain this a million times, and she's like, "No, you said I have a big ego."
Strong. Yeah, you said strong.
Yeah,
But the
which I
funny
think
thing
actually
is that
important.
so many people globbed onto it.
It is funny.
Yeah,
Yes,
that was the
yes.
funniest. I'm like, of all the things, all the amazingly
Can we delete that one?
intelligent
I
things
mean-
I've said, Heather, and the one that people are watching is my big ego about being hypnotized.
You got that big ego energy.
Yeah.
We were going to talk about being from Wisconsin.
All right, we'll
Wisconsin.
go that direction for a minute, but then we have to ask you about your ideas. But anyway.
Oh, yeah, let's-
Let's do it.
Okay.
So where are you from?
Pewaukee, Wisconsin.
Pewaukee. Sun Prairie area?
That's Madison area, so it's 30 miles west of Milwaukee, so it's south.
Oh, yeah.
So you can go through Sun Prairie to, yeah.
You're right. Yep. It's on the way from Madison
Yep.
to
Milwaukee. That's
yes,
right. Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I lived in Madison sort of half of my youth.
Nice. That's where I went to college.
Oh, lovely.
On
State
Wisconsin.
Street, all of
That's
it.
right.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's a great place. You? It's your Wisconsin.
I'm the opposite. So you were more in Minnesota and then Wisconsin too, but I was Minnesota until I turned 17, and then I was Wisconsin, and I
She,
pledged
gave up on
allegiance to the
Minnesota.
Packers.
Yes, that girl.
I think you have to do that when you get your driver's license.
Oh, it's a whole thing.
Yeah.
I've had a Wisconsin driver's license in the past. They didn't
Oh, but you did.
make me.
Yeah, you did sign your allegiance.
Are you allowed back in the state if you're not a Packer?
I got so much pleasure, just so much pleasure out of Brett Favre playing for us one season here in Minnesota. I thought that was. I'm not that big into football or sports in general, but like the big cheese puffy tears of the Wisconsinites when Favre came and played
we
for
were
us.
crying. We were pissed as hell. Okay, there was no crying.
These were
In fact, I don't think
angry tears
has-
then.
He went to the Jets first.
Favre is. I mean, Favre.
Yeah, but he came and played for us.
I think
know.
that's lovely. And you also had Randy Moss. So good for you.
Yeah.
And also you lost. So
We did.
And
We did.
also
And
the
all those
Vikings have
people-
never won a national championship.
literally always lose.
And
We
also
lost 4 times. We're pretty ridiculous. 4 attempts at the Super Bowl.
it's too bad you only
We
had
scored
4
like
attempts.
We
It's
went
too
there 4
bad you
times, and
only
I think
had
we
4
scored
attempts.
3 points.
Do you
I
know
could be wrong, but I think that might be the
what the
case.
Super Bowl trophy is named after?
Brett Favre?
No.
Because he's got a whole bunch of, Vince Lombardi. Oh, yeah,
Oh,
that guy.
Lombardi. Remember who
I
he
did
was?
go-
Okay.
I-
Where did he? Where
I
did
did
he?
go see a game I won my way into a set of tickets playing shuffleboard. Pretty good.
Really?
Hell yeah.
Good
Are you
to
sure
know.
You're not a boomer.
No, I'm not a boomer. Thanks. Not on the floor shuffleboard, like on a table. That's a younger person's thing. Not
What do you
the-
mean shuffleboard on a table?
Like it's not called shuffleboard, is it? It is. Yeah.
Yeah, it's little pucks. They're little metal pucks, and you slide them down the table. And
It's a long table with sand.
It's a
on it.
game of-
Yeah.
Yeah.
don't boomer me with.
Sorry,
with
you said shuffle. Who said?
I know. Well, it is shuffleboard though. That's the name of it. But anyway, I did get a chance to go to that fantastic stadium up there and watch the Vikings beat the Packers at Lambeau, which
I know
was
that
like.
happens quite often.
It's weird
does.
how that does happen.
Yeah.
And
but
there
it's
were
almost
Packers-
like we have to give you guys that to keep going.
You got
That's
some.
fine. That's really
Honestly,
sweet
that
of
is
you.
your Super Bowl.
For us.
It really is.
I mean, you're not going to actually get one, so you might as well just
I
beat
get where
the
you went.
Packers.
It's at Lambeau.
at
Get where you
Lambeau.
went with it.
All right.
No,
you
it's-
brought it up, so
it was fun.
You did.
It was fun, but I did toward the end of it. I wearing a little bit of purple and having a couple of beers, and then all of these guys, and we were way up because those tickets are expensive, right? But I felt like someone was going to throw us over the outside edge. The Packers fans were very, very angry about losing that game to the
Oh,
Vikings.
that's
I feel like
very
we're
unusual.
very nice fans.
Usually, we're very nice. Honestly,
Yeah.
No, you're
Go
good
to
fans.
Philadelphia.
No,
I was
I
going to
get
say
it.
there are stadiums
See
way
how you
worse
feel
than
about
Lambeau.
winning
Yes.
over Philadelphia
Yes.
in Philadelphia.
There was.
You'll
I'm
get your
not saying we got
ass
beat up or
handed to
anything.
you.
It was just felt pretty uncomfortable.
Okay, well,
No, and I'm not saying all Packers fans. I understand these are good salt of the earth people up there in Wisconsin. I love Wisconsinites. Way
You are a
more,
Wisconsinite.
way more fun than most people. I am half a Wisconsinite.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Halvesies.
Yeah, I got half a Wisconsin.
Okay.
You know what?
What about your idea?
One
what about
last
your
thing,
idea?
though.
Oh, do we have to talk about more about football?
No, not football. If you were to get a drink at a thing where you push a button and the water comes out of it and you lean over and you get a drink, what are you drinking out of?
A bubbler.
Yeah.
That would be a bubbler.
Yeah, the bubbler.
Yeah.
Duck.
Goose.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'm not
Great
a
duck.
great ducker.
Yeah. Did you grow up in the area? You're a Gen Xer. If you needed to get money out of a machine, where would you go?
The time machine.
Yeah. Okay. You are from Wisconsin.
And
I love it.
T-Y-M-E. That's
Yeah.
right.
Miami.
Yep. Okay. Good. Cool. Just had to verify.
Did I pass the
Yeah.
Wisconsin
Verify.
Verify.
Check. She
Okay.
passed the Wisconsinite test.
Yep. Totally.
Okay.
All right. Next.
All right. Let's do our thing. Let's do
yeah.
our what about this idea thing.
As a part of our thing, we're going to start having live events. That's right.
Nice.
And we're going to start bringing entrepreneurs and potential like investor, like we're going to do, everyone else is doing it too, but we're going to do it better.
And more fun.
And
It's going to be more fun, yes. But so it's, what about this idea and then sharing big ideas. This is kind of like the second phase of our show here. And so sharing big ideas, thanks Kelsey Sharp for,
Kelsey Sharp is the one that
she's like,
told us who we were.
so you brought me in here to share my idea, right? And we're like,
This is
it's
called
like
What About
episode
Us?
12, and we're like, well, you know what? That's actually a really,
a really
good idea. Yeah. Smart of you. Yes, that's what we're gonna do.
That's great.
Anyway, so yeah, do you? It can be anything. It doesn't have to be a business thing. It can be anything.
Yeah.
What kind of big idea you got in the old? noggin there?
I've got big
I
ideas.
figured you might as a unicorn.
I knew you
My
would
big
be.
idea is to have a 90s village where everything is 1990s.
Okay.
And you go into this village and there's no
Creed is
Wi-Fi.
playing on the-
Creed might be playing,
Yeah.
maybe some Backstreet Boys. And, you can take pictures with a camera and get them developed at Walgreens. I don't know if we've got 1 Hour Express yet, but you would have to wait
Sure.
to get your film
Oh,
developed.
I like that. I loved that.
Obviously landlines. Maybe we've got the Zach Morris phone. Potentially, if you want to hang out, you go to the mall.
Yeah.
Maybe play some Super Nintendo. Go to Blockbuster
Go
to
bowling.
get your. I mean,
Yeah.
I want that. I want to go to 90s Village, and I want that to be a place that maybe kids have to go to see if they can get through the village and do accomplish the tasks without
Right.
You know what? This would be a really good thing for the Minnesota Historical Society. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They always do those walks through
Yes.
a generation. They should do a game where you have to get through the 90s.
Yeah, I love this.
To the end of
Yes.
it.
Well,
Yes.
to combine it with
Let's
some
do
other
it.
Let's do
ideas,
this.
as our boomer parents and grandparents and whatever aged, right? I think it was the Germans that started this, but they created villages that looked like the 1950s, so that as you get into memory care issues, right, or memory
Yeah.
issues, you're more comfortable in this thing that reminds us. So maybe we could do that as part
I
of
love that. Senior care.
aging
Yes,
Gen
in the
X.
50s.
Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I love that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because
Plus-
music
yeah.
brings people
That's
out
good.
of
It's very
Alzheimer's.
soothing, very
Yeah.
calming to be in a place that reminds you of sort of the best period of your
Yeah.
life, which would be your teenage years or something.
You see that with older people sometimes with Alzheimer's, where they
Yeah.
don't remember their kids' names, they don't remember their wives' names, but then you throw on the song they used to dance to or sing to, and they are
triggers memories, it
They're
makes them
singing,
happy.
they're talking.
Yes. Yeah.
I
So
love
maybe we
90s.
can
That.
do this.
I love that. Yes,
I'm in.
the 90s Senior Village.
I
Let's do it.
I like it.
I like
Let's
it.
move in. I'm ready to move in.
Roomy. All right.
There's a lot of let's just bring mostly the good stuff though, right? Because I'm
Is
trying to think
anything
of what's
that I mentioned bad? Blockbuster?
No.
Walgreens
Blockbuster
photo?
would love us for it.
Blockbusters.
Oh, you
Let's
do
go.
remember us?
Mr. Movies? Wasn't that another one?
There was nothing more just devastating than going to the movie, picking it up, and there was nothing behind it. So you couldn't
that's
actually watch
right.
that
Oh,
movie.
right. The VHS wasn't
That's
there.
right. And there was always the XXX room.
Oh, yeah. You
Oh.
Some
even look at
creepy
the-
guy was
Ew.
going into the XXX
Yeah,
room.
yeah.
And
Ew.
you were like, damn.
Ew. No, I was like,
at the
ew.
creepy guy.
There's
I'm
always
just
some
guessing. I'm just
creepy
guessing.
guy going
Oh,
into
yeah.
the XXX room. Or like a little giddy couple.
Oh, good for
You're like,
them.
Let's get one.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Do you have an idea this week?
God, I don't think so.
Come on.
I don't think so. No, an idea from me. No, I'm sort of ideaed out right now.
Are you really?
I've got a lot, like the old brain. I haven't slept a lot lately. My dad's in the hospital. I mentioned this earlier, but
I had an idea and then I saw it on TikTok. So then I thought,
Oh,
you know
what
how
was it?
social media listens to you through your
Yeah.
microphone?
Yeah.
It's actually reading my brain.
Yeah,
So
it is for sure.
my idea was something you can buy at home
Okay.
that is a like robotic massager. Like
Okay.
it knows, like it senses where you need to release muscles and like a massage, like a whole body, like you went to a massage therapist,
Okay.
right? But it's like a robot, and you can do it any time. And then I saw it on TikTok.
Really? Like
Yeah,
a massage robot?
Yeah, it's like it has like. Have you seen this thing?
No.
It's like a smooth. Like it's almost like it's the back of a hand. It's smooth. It goes down your spine. It knows where your spine is. It goes down
Yeah.
your spine. It goes down all your muscles.
I like this.
I know, right?
They should have, what about like just a bed, like a tanning bed sort of thing, but it pancakes you in there. And
Oh
then
my
it's got
God, I'm already
massages all over
claustrophobic
it.
thinking about
And
it.
then it's like, oh, rubs
Okay,
all
once
over.
it starts rubbing, I guess. Well,
Yeah.
then all of a sudden, okay, my mind is going somewhere it shouldn't.
Oh wait, okay. So Sam didn't have idea. Can I give you another idea?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh,
You said you didn't have one.
this is a democracy. Do we allow 2 ideas? Is this like really a good idea? Is
Okay.
this a precedent we want to
I feel
set?
like from Heather.
No, I'm freaking
Yeah.
kidding. Of course we want to hear your idea.
Yes.
Okay. I've had this one since I was a kid.
Yeah.
I don't think anyone's done it yet. So you know how you got Cheese Whiz?
That's Wisconsinite again. Yeah, you pass.
Okay, so Cheese Whiz, but with the inside of an Oreo.
What?
Wait.
Like the filling of an Oreo, the stuffing comes out of the Cheese Whiz can.
Oh, you're talking about like easy cheese. The
Yes.
squirtable cheese.
Yes.
Cheese
But
whiz.
it's-
But it would be the inside.
Cheese
of-
whiz can come in a jar with, and you
No,
put it on
no, no,
sandwiches
no,
too.
no, no.
I'm
That's
looking
not
this up.
cheese whiz. That's not
That's not
cheese.
cheese
Cheese whiz is the
Yes.
with
You-
the
yes.
squirty cheesy.
Yeah. But it
Sounds
would.
good.
Like I'm
It's easy
imagining
cheese.
doing it.
I know. You know what? It's really good
Don't
on.
touch your mouth.
That's
Just
right.
It's really good on wheat thins with the smoked oyster on top, with the cheese on it.
Oh,
First,
that's
and
like
the
very
smoked-
fancy.
it's
That's
super fancy.
really going overboard.
Really good.
with-
Really good.
Ah.
So you're gonna put Oreo
middle?
frosting in there.
Yes.
Do they not already have frosting in a can?
I think they might have a frosting, like an Oreo, like collab, like with frosting, but not. I want the straight up.
You want like
stuffing.
Oreo to make it.
Yeah.
Like you want that
Yeah.
stuff.
Okay, Oreo. Is that like Nabisco? I mean, I apologize.
Probably.
I probably said it in the wrong one. It's probably like General Mills. It's probably
I
right.
don't think it's General Mills.
No?
I think it's
Okay.
Nabisco. I think you're right.
I mean,
Nabisco?
don't they make everything? One of those two
I know. I
companies
think they
makes
could.
everything.
Yeah. Who knows?
Yeah.
They make all the
So
cereals.
let's go with
and-
Nabisco. Future sponsor, of course. Right?
Yep, we're gonna
I looked
sponsor
right.
the
I looked
show.
right in the camera. That gets the sponsor.
That really gets it. You look
That
them in
gets
the
'em
eye
coming.
and you
Yeah.
say, "Hey,
Yeah. Come on,
Future sponsor.
Nabisco.
You will be getting a letter of cease and desist immediately.
do
not use our name ever again.
Do not. Yeah.
I think we have every
You
right
know that
to
would
use
be
their name.
that would be a sign of success
Totally.
if
To get a letter?
Nabisco sent us a cease and desist.
I agree. If anyone did, like just go
Really?
ahead, just send
Yeah.
it.
Go ahead.
We're
I
ready.
dare you.
Yeah.
I dare
Okay,
you.
so
Freedom of speech.
we've got to do's. Cease and desist.
Yeah.
We've got a birthday gift for you.
Yeah.
And what? Oh, shirts.
New
shirts
shirts.
for you. Everyone's getting
shirts.
something.
Yeah.
Self-iron.
Can you imagine the kind of shirts that might get sent? It's a large, by the way, L, just single L, not XL, not M, larges.
Did he just do that?
I did. I mean, it probably shows up that way on the camera, right? Like,
Large people. All
I wear a large.
right. Well, I think we've probably gone way past our time.
Holy
have we
shit, like 2 hours into this.
Okay,
for sure.
so I don't know. I feel like I've had some kind of intervention
this is
today.
fun.
I really do. I feel like it was nice that the woo came with the woo woo.
Yes.
Right.
Right? We were able to woo
just woo.
together.
Yeah.
Little woo.
Woo.
Yeah.
Wooing.
Yeah.
But I feel really good. It makes me, and I hope this is a message that entrepreneurs do bring in.
Yeah.
In the sense that relax.
Yeah.
Oh. Oh, is that the message you want to put out?
I
The
like
message
it.
Why'd you
is
have to do
just
it so
like-
aggressively, though?
Because that's how you
Wait, was this a Aaron
shock
Rodgers
people
play?
into it.
Relax, people. What did Aaron Rodgers do?
Remember he had that whole thing about relax? Like everyone was giving pressure about the Super Bowl, and he was like, "Just relax." You don't remember this?
I do remember it.
Did he
The whole
actually?
thing.
Is that when he
relax?
was doing mushrooms?
This was before the mushroom, but he could have been on mushrooms. But we don't speak of Mr. Rogers. He's kind of in the.
He's gone too. He's gone. Now
You guys are.
Now we're all
About
love.
Yeah, you do. Wisconsinites do have a tendency to just sort of like get angry when
Don't
someone
cross
leaves.
us.
Yeah.
No, it's like we're done with them.
We're done.
We're broken
just
up.
done.
We're done. We're not getting back together.
Yeah, I don't want you to like.
I don't want to talk to
perish,
you.
but I don't know.
You know,
we're
I'm
done with
just
you.
glad you're gone.
Bye.
Well, and
I do have a little tiny
Oh yeah, he can.
feeling about Rogers. He's nice.
And also like far.
But love until he
that's your
screws
guy.
up.
And yeah,
Love. A
Didn't
a lot of love for love.
didn't he sign like the biggest contract ever or something?
He did. I don't really understand that whole world, but I think, you put that number on millions and millions and millions of dollars, and then it's really kind of broken down into performance, right? So
I literally know nothing.
yeah, so it's like he may get that much money, but he has to perform.
No, I
He
think
has to
that's the whole deal. Is it's a guaranteed
doesn't have
contract.
to.
He could break his leg, never play again. He's going to get that money.
No, he's going to get some money, but not the total amount.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean,
He
I've
will
seen
get a
I've
lot of
seen
money.
Things out there that people are like, this is crazy because he negotiated a contract where he gets it all no matter what. That's what I heard, but I could be wrong. We'll have to look it up.
You tell us in the comments.
Oh yeah, comment. Tell us how angry you are about Favre and that we even mentioned his name. And,
I want to mention something before
oh
we
shit!
go.
I thought we were done.
No, but
Okay.
I know I need to add one more thing.
I love it. Do
What's
it.
the date today?
It is August 7th or 8th. 8/8. Is it 8/8 today or 8/7?
Do you know what yesterday was? You know what August 7th is?
God, have I ever been this
was it
much
your
on
anniversary?
Is it the anniversary of when we met?
Yes.
Is it?
It is the anniversary of when Sam reached out to me cold on LinkedIn and said, "Hey, I was thinking you should be on my podcast."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Who the is this?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Okay, well, we have 40 common connections. Like, maybe he's not so bad."
Right.
And so then we met, and within 30 minutes, we decided that we're doing a podcast together. And that was August 7th,
Oh,
the date that we.
look at that.
It's been a whole year, and we're still partners.
Best business partner ever.
Cheers to that.
yay.
I don't have anything in there, so.
Congratulations.
Is that bad luck?
It's bad luck. I
Oh,
think.
shit.
Yeah. I just ruined everything.
You ruined it all. Now we're going to all just go downhill. Anyway, thank
yeah.
you.
Yeah,
You're
Heather.
Thanks
amazing.
for having me. This was
Of
fun.
course.
This was
of
worth the
course.
wait.
So fun.
And Sam's not that bad.
No,
Yeah.
no.
Do you regret putting it off as long as you did then? Do you I'm just kidding. We already went through
Really
this.
good about what happened.
Yes.
Yeah.
We got
We're going to have to
right
get you in the
moment.
new studio.
Oh yeah. When
Yeah.
You guys
New
moved.
It's
Yeah.
studio.
a
that's
party.
just
We're going to have a
one move.
disco ball in the new studio.
We are going to have a disco ball.
That. You
And Sam's going to dance. He loves to dance.
Oh.
And we're gonna need that like unicorn steak picture on the wall or something. Cause
Yeah, we'd have to take it off my kitchen wall.
We are not putting the unicorn.
Come on. Oh, maybe. Come on, Dave. I need another one. All right.
Dave, no offense. But birds.
yeah.
Yeah.
Birds.
I can get
I'm showing you birds and steak pictures here.
You know, how many times are we going to say goodbye? This is like a Midwest goodbye.
Oh, this is so-
okay, we're ending.
Super
From-
Minnesota.
ending.
Yes.
Super Minnesota.
So
Goodbye.
Midwest.
Before you go, I've got one. Oh,
Goodbye. Who wants some hot dish?